of living. So if you go into the old Indian, East Indian literature, you'll find that they have said there that there are 4 levels of living. And the lowest one is having. The next one is doing. Then there is being. And finally, there is giving. And these verb forms that go along with each level are very important. So if we start off at the bottom level of having, if our verbs are all about having and getting and bringing things in, what we're doing is we're collecting things around us and cluttering up our place, which makes it more difficult to manage stuff. It makes it more difficult to clean, and it makes it so that we're focused on money outflow. So none of these are really serving us well in the long term, although some things and some buying is obviously essential for every human. But to focus on this area is a very low energy of working, and it focuses on money outflow. So if we go up to the next level, which is doing. So now we're talking about doing and taking action and achieving. And when we're doing this, this is good because we're actually producing something, and producing is about earning. So now we're talking about getting money in and doing some work. And this is good. But at the same time that we're spending all this time working, are we actually looking after our own health? Are we losing connections with people that we love? Are we losing opportunities to meet other people? You never know. So those are an inflow of money, whereas having is an outflow of money. But if we go up to the next level, then we're at being. And being is about emotions and health and energy levels and creativity and that kind of stuff. So if we start at the being place, then we're talking about creating from a creative standpoint, not just a working standpoint, but from a higher emotional level where we are actually balancing now, because in order to be happy, then, it's important that we balance our lives, that we do balance consuming and producing, that we balance working and socializing, that we balance our time and our efforts so that we put in time for fitness, we put in time for positive work, for good reading, all that kind of stuff. So being actually supports all of the lower ideas and is a way of doing things. So how about giving? How does giving go in there? It can be looked at as charity, can be looked at as contributing, can be looked at as helping. So there are different ways to look at that as well. So, but you can only give what you have. So if you give yourself all away, you become less. And this is why I'm going to suggest here that of all the verbs we can use, perhaps the most important one is becoming. For what are we becoming? We are always becoming something. And as we are becoming, we are either becoming more or we are becoming less. So if we want to be happy, then we always want to be becoming more. This is the whole idea, is becoming more of the happy person. And as we're becoming more of the happy person, then We are getting more friends. We are enjoying more productivity. We are loving our work. We are loving our people. We are loving ourselves. So becoming more and more happy, more and more healthy, more and more productive, more and more wealthy, more and more connected is a great way to be. So I suggest, since we are all becoming something at every moment, that we really focus on what we are becoming and align ourselves with becoming what we want to become. So what do you guys think? Do you think that becoming could be perhaps the most important verb of all? I've lost your sound, Robert. Can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you, Positive Library. Okay, and Robert, you can hear me. I cannot hear you, Robert.
Hey,
there you are! Yay! Good news, good news.
Good news, I did. And I was going, wow, I was really, and all of a sudden there was nothing there. Okay, good. No,
Okay.
It is one of the most important verbs. I would say what I hear out of that is that it really sets up becoming what we want to do. It goes into the I am. I'm becoming this magnificent listener, this magnificent speaker, this magnificent triathlon athlete, and my body is getting better and better every day. So yeah, I get that becoming could very well be one of the strongest. It could be a very strong, one of the strongest words out there. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't realize we're becoming, eh? We just think we're being or we're doing.
We are and in a lot of senses we are. Because if you just take our situation, we are becoming because.
But yeah, no matter what other activity you're involved in, you're becoming something. You're becoming more or becoming less in some area.
Maybe less of the old way I was and more of the way I want to be.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yes.
Woo! Oh, man. Absolutely. So, yeah.
But there's a few other things that we can learn about verbs as well. So while I think that this focus on becoming is really important, I think there's a few other words, things about verbs that we want to learn, because a lot of people do goal setting, and a lot of people have given up on goal setting because they're not achieving those goals.
That's a huge point.
Yeah,
I know. I talked to several people today, and I'm asking them what their goals are, and they have no idea.
How interesting! How interesting, and how timely this is.
Yeah. Exactly.
So here we go. So let's take a really common one. I want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
So the verb is lose. Who likes to lose?
I'm becoming losing. Boy, I got
There's
that
another
one
problem with this verb.
Okay.
Because when we set a goal, it's kind of like giving an order from our conscious mind to our subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is very good at carrying things out if you give it really good directions. But if you give it bad directions like lose weight, it says, okay, I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up, maybe lost a half a pound, lost some weight, done.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what happens.
Exactly. I mean,
So
all you
that's
could
why
ship
people
that
find
much
it
out.
so hard to lose weight.
Yep.
So, and not only that, but when you lose something, you normally want to find it. And then they complain about yo-yo diets.
Oh, that
They're
is so
verbing
true.
all wrong.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
let's talk about what, it's not what we don't want. What we don't want is that excess weight. It's what we do want that matters. So do we want to slim down to our ideal weight? Or do we want to build wellness and health?
Want to build wellness and health.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that we really want. We don't want to lose anything.
That's true. We don't.
Yeah, the same thing if you're trying to quit something. The same thing goes on. Trying to quit smoking, trying to quit drinking, trying to quit over shopping, whatever. Quit is the same kind of verb. Who wants to be labeled a quitter? And
that's
the same
like
thing
AA.
happens, right?
If there's any AA folks on here, it's they go there and they talk about their problems.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about the problems brings more of the problems.
Yeah, they
Who wants to live in problems.
Instead of they talked about something of what they want to become. So that word becomes that verb.
Yeah, so this idea of becoming, yes, exactly. So while you're doing that kind of stuff, like, while you're over consuming and underproducing, you are becoming overweight, you are becoming poorer. So you're becoming less healthy. So all of this stuff is what we don't want. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing that and paying attention to what you're becoming, then you can wake up to the truth of what you really want.
By asking, being more specific about what you want and what's coming, about what your body. No. It's the way you phrase it.
Yes.
Take the losing part out of it. Take the quitting part out of it. Take those out and shift that conversation to becoming
to what you want.
I want a healthy, sexy, sensual personality, body, attractive.
Yeah.
There you go. All the juicy verbs that could go with that.
Farming.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. But then we want to verb it beyond the having level.
Because it was the lowest form.
Yeah, so we want to up it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, all of the things that we really, 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 really want. So there are things like health, wealth, fitness, social relations, achievement, success, these kind of things, they're all long-term projects. Whereas the verbs most people use are short-term achievements. So lose, you do it one time, you're done. Quit, do it one time, you're done.
Yeah, I get
right?
That makes sense.
So we got to use the verbs of long-term achievement if we want to really achieve the things that we want to achieve. So which verbs are those?
That's a really good question. My earplugs are in. That's the truth.
Hey, Jessica, welcome back. Good to see you again. Yeah, so if you really want to achieve something that's a long-term aim, and let's face it, if you want to live the happy life all the time, you want to work on delayed gratification. You want to work on what's important, not that instantaneous gratification that makes you feel good for a minute and bad for years.
That's huge.
So if we really want to do that, then we want to embrace the verbs that end in ing. Achieving, becoming, developing, growing, building, improving. These are the kind of verbs that really bring us what we want.
Growing. I'm growing into a handsome man.
Yes, I'm growing into a handsome, wealthy man.
Ooh, I'm growing into a handsome, wealthy man. Well, it can be it can be a beautiful woman. I'm growing into a beautiful
exactly.
woman.
So, something I've been doing now for 8.5 years is I've been building strength, endurance, flexibility, and agility. That's how I came to be a triathlete. I started off overweight, underfit, really weak.
And you're 21 years old, too.
Of course. I feel 21.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but by setting these aims of building these attributes, it just keeps getting better all the time. Like almost every time I go to the gym, I do a personal best in almost every event.
Oh, wow.
And that's because I'm so thoroughly conditioned to be building those attributes.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's reconditioning our old way of thinking. Reconditions our new way of being, which reconditions our ability to do and have.
Just by using some certain being words, ing words, stretches it out long term.
That's right. That simple change in wording makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Like before this latest push, I had always wanted to be fit. And I had never been able to sustain a program for more than a year. And I finally figured out why, because I would set myself a goal. The last time that I didn't do it successfully, I set myself a goal of bench pressing 135 pounds, 3 sets of 15. And I worked at it and I got there in about 10 months, maybe 11 months. And after that, I gradually stopped going to the gym. Why? Because I had achieved it.
Well, that explains my yoga.
Because
I said I wanted to be able to achieve what Buddha did. I mean, be able to actually be doing an exercise and having that space, that 30 seconds of bliss through the asana.
Yeah.
And I did achieve that probably my whole last year of doing it, and that way of being. But that's when you achieved it. It's like I didn't have another goal.
Exactly. You were missing your ing verbs.
Wow.
So you were goal-driven, not becoming driven.
I was goal-driven. I was totally goal-driven.
Yeah. So this is a step beyond goals, is becoming oriented and driven. And this is the idea of purposeful living.
Purposeful living.
Yeah, because then you're always improving the meaning in your way of being.
Oh, totally. When you can come in from that kind of a perspective. Which is exactly what we're doing here.
Huh? Which is exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah. Coming into purposeful living, actually being able to to recognize that the way we're being, the being or becoming that information that, I mean, I always look at goals as a way to accomplish something, but rather than that, you're becoming something.
Yes,
You're
yes.
becoming.
So there are ways to set goals and ways not to set goals, right? Because we tend to set goals in terms of the visible.
Jessica says, always striving to be a better version of yourself. Striving.
Yes. So striving is a good verb. I like that.
Well, striving,
and then,
does it have a negative side to it?
No, I think...
Why not in this context, but could it have?
Striving can have a negative context, because striving means that you are working towards something you don't already have.
So there's a lack.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you are striving, then you are always in active working mode, almost a sense of struggling, but not quite, towards something you don't have. Whereas law of attraction says, already be the person who has it.
Correct.
So if you're striving for something, then you don't ever really get it. But if you're building it, then you both own it and you are going for more.
So you're saying you both own it. What did you mean by both?
If I'm building some quality,
yes,
then I both own it now, and I'm making it better.
Beautiful said. Okay. I'm glad I could connect the dots on that one.
Yeah. So I love to set goals in terms of qualities. I think it's really good. And then attach a really juicy ing verb to them. Like growing wealth.
Like growing wealth.
Yeah.
Yes. Love it. Growing wealth.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. No, I get it. I get it. And the distinctions. That's really cool.
It makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. And also it makes a difference in the way that you wake up in the morning and feel. Because it seems...
Oh, yes.
Because it's like if you don't have the ing on the other side to actually strive. Here we go, striving again.
Accepting is another really good verb.
Accepting. Just accepting the position.
I'm accepting my wealth.
Wow, I like that. I'm accepting my wealth today. I'm accepting my charisma.
Yes.
I'll say that. Growing wealth, growing prosperity.
Yes.
Growing
health.
Growing
fitness.
I'm growing fit.
Growing relationships.
We just don't talk like that.
I know people don't talk like that.
We have so many negative bullshit like stuff going on all the time.
People don't achieve like that either.
That's why there's so many people that when you find people that actually use those INGs and speak of the present moment and the future without putting any emphasis on the past, brings that wealth. That's the growing wealth inside.
Yes. Like, to me, there are different aspects of wealth, right? Wealth is not just money to me. So wealth is peace of mind. Wealth is positive relationships. Wealth is being helpful and productive to the world. And wealth is time and money freedom.
Oh, yeah, Absolutely. Time and money.
Yeah.
Wealth is time and money. So
but what is time and money if you don't have peace of mind? If you don't have positive relationships?
You just conquered something.
There are all kinds of people that have too much money.
Yeah.
That are not happy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sab. Hello, Sab.
How are you, my friend?
Welcome.
Thank you.
My friend, how are you today? Where are you from?
I'm from Saudi.
Saudi.
Yeah.
Wow.
How are you?
Well, there's a lot of stuff in the news going on over there.
Thank you. Welcome for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're welcome. Yes, welcome.
Welcome. But
You're breaking up a little bit.
For the Rome 2 here is American man. He is no good speaking for Saudi.
I didn't hear that. Did you hear that, Stephen?
No, I didn't. Can you speak again, Saab, or maybe write in the chat box? JC Carroll, hello.
Saab, we want you back on.
Exactly. And there's Saeed. Hello, Saeed.
I know you're trying to speak, Saab, but it is absolutely.
It's not coming through.
Yeah. So we get to create a moment here with Saab. Well, awesome.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure glad he tried. I wish we could have talked to him, but maybe he'll give us his comment in the chat box, or maybe he'll ask his question in the chat box, because we would love to give an answer.
And it's always the right
one. So does anybody have a question out there on how to use verbs usefully in a happy way? Does anybody have a question on or some experience on how you used better verbs?
I just really appreciated Jessica. Jessica had a great question, and it made us understand, the difference. So that was really, really powerful.
Yeah, that was a very powerful question.
And Saab got on.
And to be honest, that was something I hadn't really thought about before. So I was really glad to be able to go through it when she asked. Yeah. So thanks very much for that, Jessica.
And when we start thinking about growing wealth and our day and moment to moment, we get to use, we're growing ourselves in every way, in our personality, in the words that we use, the vibration of our thoughts are always growing in the wealth arena and a wealth loving arena. And that's always perpetuating that inside of us to really be that person that we really are striving for each and every day. That's an upward spiral instead of going the other direction.
That's exactly right. That's the key of the becomingness, right? Because it's a spiral kind of life. Like we're always going up the hill or down the hill. And it's more effort to get up the hill, but it's beautiful to live up.
So even in our conversations here, and I love because we're talking about happiness, and we're always laughing, and it isn't always the easiest part to laugh, and it isn't. But we notice it gets easier and easier as the days go on. But if it's because we're bringing our and becoming the life or the person that we really truly are wanting to feel inside of us.
Yeah, it's like we talked about yesterday, right? I thought I knew me until I met the new me.
See? Yeah, you can go back to the last blabs and how we felt about bringing some of those moments right now. We can actually raise our vibration, feel that how we're becoming that authority on what happiness is really about. Because when we fall back, let's say we fall back after the blab, we just fall back. We don't fall all the way back. We actually gained.
Exactly.
Yes. So we swung the pendulum the other way, further, greater, more becoming who we want to be, more excited about building wealth, more exciting about building health, more exciting about building our personal inner awareness to where we want to be. Is that accurate? Is that?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. You're on the money. And that reminds me of another verb that is kind of misused, and that is knowing. Yeah, because it isn't about knowing. It's about embodying. So when we get knowledge, we don't want to have it in our head like they taught us in school. We want to have it in our way of being. We want to be doing it. We want to be becoming it. We want to be growing it. So, it's, if somebody says, I know, then you know that they are not being successful.
Yeah.
Because what it means is I have it in my head, but I don't have it in my body. I don't have it in me. It's not in my way of being. It's only in my head.
Those are pretty strong words you're saying there, sir.
Yes, indeed. So
go ahead.
When we take on new knowledge, we don't want it on our piece of paper. We don't want it in our head. And Lord knows I did that for long enough.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I get more freaking knowledge. We can
everything I'm talking about, I learned the hard way.
Oh, God, yeah. Amen. Amen.
Yeah. So when we learn something new, what it means is we are embodying a new way of being. Because one of the most universal bad ways of being is through negative judgment. And this happens so often that, we set ourselves a goal and then we kind of observe ourselves.
Yes.
Somewhat apart and go, oh, I'm not doing it. And then we start to pass judgment on ourselves. Like, I'm not doing it is already a piece of judgment.
It is.
But then we start to pass more negative judgment on ourselves. I never get it right. I'm a loser. I'm a whatever. And that way of being in judgment is what gets us stuck. And being stuck is what brings us pain.
And we get it all over again, because until we learn that we have to say how we're growing inside and learning inside and being proactive about noticing how special we are.
Yes.
And how gifted we are, then that our soul speaks through us rather than us being in the way of our own conditioning of our thoughts.
Allowing that conditioning to be in the way of us.
Yeah.
Are we excited now?
Damn it. Well, there's
so much more than we think we are. We are always so much more than we think we are, because everybody has infinite potential. And we play so small. So why do we do that? We don't need to do that. We can let that go. We can get out loud. We can jump on board our own life, our own way of living. We can expand and expand and expand.
And when you slip a little bit, you just recognize you slipped a little bit and shifted.
Okay, I fell asleep a little bit. I messed up. So what?
You're freaking.
Next.
Wow.
Yes.
So,
everybody does have gifts to share.
Yeah, they do.
And that is exactly the point. Our gifts are aligned with our purpose for being. And it takes courage to work your purpose. But you got to do it. And when you do, you get freedom.
So when you're looking at becoming something, like becoming a good lover, a good woman or man in a relationship, that's sometimes you're in the prison. So how do you take it from the prison you're in to the promised land? So what kind of verbs would you use to do that?
4 steps that we've been talking about. So first of all, I give myself permission to grow beyond what I was before.
So giving yourself permission. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I give myself permission. Like somewhere along the line, I picked up these limitations, and I don't know why or where or how or what. Doesn't matter. I give myself permission to grow beyond that. And then as I give myself permission to grow beyond that, then I get on my learning journey. And I start getting information, analyzing, talking to people, getting better. And then I see it as a learning journey. And a learning journey is not knowing, it's embodying. So as I'm embodying these new ways of being, then I am becoming more and more and more. And if I see myself not doing it, then I simply ask myself, is it working? No, it's not working. That means I'm not working. Okay, I'm going to get back to work on it.
So I'm going to get back to work on it. That comes from a series of questions that would allow us to get back on the target of the dream that we wanted. So what kind of questions would you ask if you fall off the wagon?
Is it working?
Is it working? So
master question.
So
is it working?
Is it working? So some of it's working, some of it isn't working. So you're in between. So how do we create more besides you keep asking that question over and over again? Is it working?
Yeah, so in a case like that, which is unusual, but in a case like that, then what you do is you go, okay, which parts are working, which parts are not working?
Okay.
Okay, and then the parts that are working, thank you. How did I make them work? How am I making them work? And then the parts that aren't working, thank you for helping me to wake up. How do I apply what's making those ones work?
How?
To these ones.
How and what?
How
and what? Okay.
Yeah.
What
and how?
What and how? Is there another one in there?
When? When do I start? When do I start? The other one is, why is this important to me? Before you start any goal setting, first your goal setting usually comes from dissatisfaction. Yeah, okay, there's something I don't like. So the first thing I ask myself is, what do I want?
There you go.
I take the opposite.
Which is a good
What
thing.
do I want?
Yeah.
And then once I've figured out what I want, doesn't matter if I know how to get it, not the least bit interested in that. Just what do I want? Okay? Then why is that important to me? Okay. Because that's motivation, right? If I'm just doing it because someone else thinks I should, that's low motivation. If I'm doing it because it's fundamental to the way I want to live, then that's powerful motivation.
Fundamentally the way you want to live.
Yeah.
That is
happy and free. Free to produce what I want, when I want, where I want.
God, we got to, yeah.
Yeah, but we're not done. Because there's another piece of motivation. And then you ask the question, why not?
Yeah.
Why don't I have it already?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to be a powerful away from motivation, whereas why do I want it is toward motivation.
So why don't I have it already?
Yeah, why don't I have it already? And it'll always be something about me, like something I haven't done, something I haven't known, something I haven't cared about, something about me.
Jesus, that could be a really big question for some people.
Oh, that's a huge one.
And a scary one if they ever got the answer.
Depends on whether you're a learning person or a judgmental person.
I like that. I like that. That is good.
Yes. When you're a learning person, nothing is scary.
Why haven't I had this already?
Woo-wee. Yeah. Why isn't it working already? Or why don't I already have it? Yep. So now you have what you want, and then have your toward and your away from motivation.
Exactly.
Both of which are powerful. So now that you have the what and the motivation, next we move to the how. But the how gets in the way of most goals. I don't know how. Blah, blah, blah. So for the how, all you need to know is the first step. Just ask yourself, what can I do now with what I have?
Yes.
And then there's only one more question. When will I start? And then you get on with it. And then you just start moving and you start going. And then if it's a complex thing like writing a book or something like that, and you don't know how, then you just start. And then things start showing up. There's ways that start showing up. And they go, oh, you know how to do that? That's what I've been looking for. That's how I got this book written. Yeah, if anybody wants to really end unhappiness for good in your life, this book is a critical asset. Happiness Works, get yours here. People have taken this book and changed their whole situation around in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
You can find it online.
Yeah.
Or you can connect with me and we can do coaching as well. Any way you like.
There you go.
But anyway, yeah, so that's how I got the book written. That's how I do most things. I just figure out, what do I want? Why is that important to me? Why don't I have it already? How am I going to start? And then when am I going to get moving? And then I get on it.
That's powerful. See, and when we can get on it, when are you going to get moving? So you've got, then you're becoming, using the ing verb.
Exactly. So I'm becoming, and almost always I'm either building or growing or improving or developing something.
Growing, improving, or developing something. So the developing, well, we're always going to develop until the day we die.
That's my aim.
So you're developing a better relationship. You're developing closer relationships with your family. You're developing business relationships that are exquisite and fun to be with. You're developing. We never quit developing.
No, well, because developing is part of the meaning of life, right? To learn, to develop, to create.
Yeah, we're in this physical format. I mean, this physical body.
What we're doing. Hey, we're learning, we're developing, we're creating. And what that allows us to do is to help more people.
That's powerful.
And that's passion, that's meaning, that's purpose. That's fulfillment.
I have to say, this is one of the most powerful blabs we've ever done, as far as on creating the language just for our minds to understand and retrain our subconscious to really listen to what we really want to become, where we really want to be that that powerful image in others' eyes.
You just gave me a great idea, Robert. Thank you. Would you guys like to do a short meditation in order to embed this deeper?
That would be awesome. You're going to use a little NLP on it?
Yeah. Hey, you guys in the chat, if you're in for that, just type in yes. If you're driving, don't type in yes. All right, here we go then. Okay, so get yourself a little bit comfortable. Get yourself a little bit relaxed and start to breathe deeply and really pay attention to your breath. You can let your eyes close if that's helpful to you, and you can start to go inside. And as we're going inside and connecting with our deepest soul's purpose, and recognizing that we are on this earth to do more than consume, we are here to help others. And in helping others, we get our great joy and fulfillment. So to do this, and to be this, and to give this, we are now focusing on who and what we are becoming. For we are always becoming. And this will help us out. So, thinking about what we're becoming, we have now got a new way of setting goals. We are figuring out what we want. We are asking ourselves, why is this important to me? Then we are asking ourselves, why don't I already have it? And then we are asking ourselves, how do I start? And then, when do I start? And then we get moving. And as we are moving, we know that our becomingness is now improving, developing, growing, building. And this is very, very good. And so taking this new way of being and thinking of what you are wanting, and now thinking of moving ahead, and taking this and applying it to something you have been wanting. And doing this now. What do I want? Why is this important? Why don't I already have it? How will I start? And when will I start? And now picturing you starting. And I don't know if that's today or tomorrow or the next day, but starting with what you have now and what you can do with it. And then watching it start growing. And as it's starting to grow, see yourself taking more action, being more grateful, feeling more loving, being more in action and becoming what you are wanting. And this becoming is the best becoming. Yes, yes, yes. And as you are becoming and knowing now that this is just the beginning, and we can be moving ahead this way for days, weeks, months, years, and decades until the end of our days. And taking this on board now at the deepest subconscious level, so that the next time there is a problem or a want, we are automatically thinking, what do I want? Why is it important? Why don't I already have it? How do I start? And when do I start? And this is the new way of being. And for this new way of being, we are feeling entirely grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this new way of becoming is very appealing to us. And once again, we are very, very thankful. And as this is fully integrating, we can start coming back to now. And as it's becoming an integral part of us, integrating in every way into our way of being, we can open our eyes and come back to the room.
Wow.
I hope that was a great experience for you.
That was an experience. That was an experience. And you can, and you got to listen to your voice, and then that time, and when you're visualizing it, and then bringing yourself, like you're still on the blab, and I'm going back and forth. But when I notice it, it's empowering.
Oh yes,
because it lifts you. You know, sometimes if your heart holds most of the energy, and then it comes up and sticks in your throat, and you can kind of go.
We are so used to mindlessly following our childhood ways.
Oh, God.
The inherited emotion.
Wow.
Something happens to go, why is that happening? Or worse, why is that always happening to me? And this is the most counterproductive way of living. This is just so counterproductive in every way. And by making this shift to the little more complex, what do I want? Why do I want it? Why don't I already have it? How can I start? When can I start? Then this is opening up our whole world into beautiful, grandiose way of living.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, it's the feelings too that bubble up from that, and so you're connecting the thoughts and the feelings together.
Mm-hmm.
So as that process, because emotions are coming up, and they are having a real connection with your thoughts.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah,
because it's feelings that drive all action and inaction. So that's why those feelings are important.
But those feelings are messengers. So those messengers, noticing where the type of person that you want to become, for instance, those feelings are sometimes being they don't always feel the greatest coming up because you've either suppressed them in some way.
So there's a few complexities in there. So,
yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So one is this, is that your brain doesn't want you to thrive. Your brain wants you to survive. And it thinks that the way of doing that is to avoid change. So in order to get beyond that, we need to embrace resistance and fear. See, those are not walls. They are walls with doors. And we can open the door and we can go through to the next room, which is called freedom.
Dude, we're there.
And
I know we're there.
yeah, exactly. And the name of the door is called action. So when you feel resistance, when you feel fear, don't be the owner. Don't be that resistance or fear. Be the observer. Oh, I see there's fear. I see there's resistance. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. The resistance that comes up, time is the resistance.
Yeah. So and then we just say, thank you. I see you there, resistance. Pay attention. We're going in a new direction. See how much you like it better. And then you just move and it all goes away. And freedom, that feeling of freedom comes through as you break through there.
So that I'm going to take the one around time. So time is a real issue for me.
Yeah.
So time and collapsing because time is all it is. It's just is something resistance that I'm blocking inside of myself.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, here's the greatest thing that I've found that works best for time. Love your time.
Say that again?
Love the time. We have this idea that there is a lack of time.
Yeah, what the hell is that about?
That's ridiculous. First of all, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change how much time there is.
No, there's 24 hours in a day. You can't do anything
That's
from the back. You can't.
That's the way it is.
It's just
so
it is.
So I don't put any negative emotion on things I can't change. So this idea that there's not enough time is just inside here. It's our idea. There's not enough time for me.
Yeah. But that seems crazy. Like everybody says, well, you got to go to do a job for 40 years and then you get your house and you got a good salary and that's how long, that's time.
Yeah. That's their idea. That's their idea.
It's
not your idea. Your idea is you. Grow your own business.
It's just how they perceive it.
Exactly. This is the whole idea of conditioning.
I would die. I don't want to live like that. Okay, I'm going to set up my life just by doing this.
I lived for a long time that way. I'm so happy not to be doing it now.
You lived a long time like that. So this is not unfamiliar.
Yeah. So it's, waking up is a choice followed by action. So when we wake up and we take action on it, then it all starts to come together.
Well, that makes sense. Woohoo!
My friends, it is always my pleasure to help out. And if you want some one-on-one attention, I am always available for that. And like I said, this book is another really good textbook that'll help you out in many ways. Happiness Works. Get yours here. I'll type in my Facebook page here.
Blessings, my friend. Thank you, you guys. Stephen Whiteley, you have some really deep, insightful messages for us and the audience, and I really thank you for that. And it is an absolute pleasure. So tomorrow's blab is happiness in our two worlds. Wow, we have two worlds that are really going on here.
Yes, we can already wait to explain it. the world you don't think about yet.
We're learning about the world I don't think about. Boy, if we started thinking about it, it might change a lot of things.
It's the one that drives the one you think about.
That's deep. Well, my dear friend, it's been an absolute blessing to be with you today and an honor.
Well, me too. Thank you.
It is. And I am so grateful to move that little barometer up a little bit in our consciousness. So thank you and have one awesome, beautiful, beautiful day.
You are so welcome. It has been my pleasure. Let's laugh out. Take care.
Blessings.
Stay well. Have fun. I'm Stephen Whiteley.
I'm Robert L. McRae. Thank you.